Welcome everyone to our Thursday educational series. My name is Laura Waghorn, and today we're excited to welcome three guests to tell their real journey, real outcome experiences. We have Nathan James, Alexis Leon, and Dr. Tanisha Bibbs. Our first guest, Nathan James, is the co-founder of four creative marketing agencies. He currently remodels and flips homes with his wife, Janelle. He is also a novelist, a weightlifter, and a fitness and lifestyle model. Welcome, Nathan. We're super excited to have you with us here on the call.
Thank you, Laura. Glad to be here.
You've been using GLP-1 microdosing and NAD plus the injection. So, what first got you interested in exploring peptides, and what initially drew you to those specific ones?
Yeah. So, like everyone, I think I'd heard about weight loss peptides, the brand name ones, specifically attached to celebrities that you see these dramatic transformations, like Oprah, great example. So it's kind of out here in my awareness, but I listen to podcasts when I work out. Some of those podcasts are health and fitness related. And at the beginning of this year, January, February, they started talking about the ancillary benefits of the weight loss peptides, the GLP-1 class drugs. And that's what caught my attention because what they were talking about is reducing overall inflammation in the body and all of the good things that come from reducing that inflammation. So, what immediately caught my attention was things like reducing cholesterol levels because despite working out every day and having a pretty good diet, I had 300 level cholesterol, which is considered dangerous. And they wanted to put me on a statin drug, which I did not want to take. And another benefit that they mentioned that also affect me was blood sugar. So again, I don't eat sugar. I don't drink alcohol. Like I'm pretty disciplined, but my blood sugar was considered pre-diabetic. And if you like comedy and you go on YouTube and enter Kevin James pre-diabetic, and it's a great 5 minute skit. But basically, it was concerning. So I kind of was started paying more attention, and then in May, a friend introduced us to EllieMD, and it's like, okay, great. Here's my excuse. Here's my opportunity to actually try this. So I knew that I was not going to go on full strength because I didn't have a lot of body fat. I didn't really want to lose weight at all. So I went on the microdose. But here's the interesting thing. I happened to have my annual checkup 3 weeks before I started the drug. And that's when I knew the actual numbers. So 300 cholesterol and high blood sugar. And because I was having some issues with getting my thyroid medication dialed in, I also was scheduled to have a follow-up blood test 5 weeks after the first one, which was 3 weeks after I started the peptide. So this is nothing else in my life has changed. No exercise changed, no diet changed, nothing else changed. So any change is attributable to the GLP-1. And the results were pretty amazing. So again, in 3 weeks, my cholesterol dropped 42 points, the vast majority of which was the bad cholesterol, the LDL cholesterol, and my blood sugar went from pre-diabetic to normal range. So that's 3 weeks. I also lost 10 pounds, which again, didn't really felt that I needed to, but it was all right. Got a little bit leaner. So literally in 3 weeks, I was a big fan. And from we started telling people like, wow, this is amazing. Janelle, my wife, was having similar success with the full strength GLP. She was losing weight at about a pound a week, week after week. And so that just continued. But then there were additional benefits. So I've also had tinnitus, which is ringing in the ears for about, oh, I don't know, 35 years. And I always thought it was because of mowing lawns. When I was a kid, I had a lawn mowing business and I didn't wear hearing protection. But it turns out when my blood sugar and my inflammation dropped, so did my tinnitus. It dropped maybe 90%. So that went from something that I had to actively work to screen out of my consciousness, my conscious awareness, down to something that was very easy to ignore. So that's like literally life changing. Meanwhile, Janelle, my wife, had suffered from asthma. So in addition to losing weight, suddenly her asthma conditions were disappearing. She no longer needed to use her inhaler or get an oxygen can. Like things were getting better really, really fast. So we just became real kind of passionate advocates. And I think this is part of a bigger trend in our lives of just taking more personal responsibility for our health. So we've always known eat right and exercise. Everybody knows eat right and exercise. So you do the best you can with that. But what else? How do you not be a passive recipient of whatever your traditional doctor might say? I had one doctor want to prescribe me statins, but I had a friend who's a doctor who said, stay away from those things. So, so for me, it was about becoming more informed, um, make sure that I get my blood tested to see what my scores are turning out to be, and just proceeding in that way. And so from that, I decided to try NAD plus. And one of the reasons was when I was telling my friends about the GLPs, I didn't hear many people say they'd tried a GLP, a few, not many, but I heard several because we have a lot of friends in California, which kind of leads the country in trying things. I had several friends in California just like, oh, well, I take NAD plus. I'm like, really? Okay. Hmm. Is that working for you? So that was enough intrigue just from my friends telling me about it, about increased mental clarity, increased energy levels, better workouts. Like, okay, I'm going to get on board with that. But I was kind of chicken. I'm not scared of needles, but I started with the nasal spray because I just didn't know what my body would tolerate. And I would time the nasal spray like an hour before my workout, which was great. Like I really started really having great workouts. Um, but then Janelle started taking the injectable of NAD plus, and she was like, okay, I haven't felt this good in years. I'm like, all right. So I switched over when my prescription ended with the nasal spray. I switched over to the injectable form of NAD plus. Now, here's what's interesting, and this is for what little this might be worth for my own personal example. I'll just say to everyone, like, these are prescribed medications, even if peptides are something your body naturally produces. So I would never, ever recommend exceeding what you are prescribed in your dosage. But I also would recommend kind of monitoring your response. And if you need to, back down. So I actually, when I lost that 10 pounds on the microdose, I backed down on the microdose. So I was taking a mini microdose, right? And then on the NAD plus, man, I don't know what it's like to do like the illegal drugs that make you feel. So I don't know what that's like, but I was flying. And like I was racing. And I'm like, I probably don't need this much. So about 2 weeks in, I backed down to a half and then a third of what I was taking. And now I feel perfect. Like I just feel like it's dialed in. So I'm 64 and a half years old. Things start to catch up to you at this age. Workouts get harder, energy levels get harder, clarity gets harder. And the combination of the microdose of the GLP, in this case now I'm on tirzepatide, and the NAD plus has just really improved my life. So big fan. Maybe we'll try some others at some point, some of our other peptide offerings. We'll see. Not there yet.
Not there yet, but I love that. Like you had all the information from the doctors, you had your labs, and you had all that stuff, and the ringing in your ears. We've had a couple of comments about that. People are like, "Does it really help for that?" I have heard that as well.
Mm.
Obviously, it might be a by product kind of thing, but I have heard of people saying that it has helped with that. So, Nathan, for you, can you pinpoint like a specific moment when you realized like these peptides were making a real difference? Obviously, you said you felt like high, you was right on one, but just could you pinpoint like that turning? Did you just wake up one day and think I feel good, or was there something that happened that made you think these are actually working?
Well, yeah. So the objective blood test results was that's not a feeling, right? That's data. So I'm strongly biased towards data. But from a feeling standpoint, yeah, the GLP, I mean, I literally felt lighter, even though, again, 10 pounds in 3 weeks, that's a steady clip. I didn't want to persist at that, but you literally feel lighter. And the NAD plus, it's immediate. Like with, but with both the nasal spray and the injection, it's really immediate. And look, I mean, there's context for everything, right? So we feel super privileged to be in a position where we can take care of our health proactively, where we can afford to do this. With Ellie, what's wonderful is that it kind of pays for itself and more than. But it's about looking ahead to your lives. Like my parents both died 3 years ago, and they were 86, both of them, and they lived great lives. And what happens when your parents die is you kind of think, oh well, maybe maybe I'll live that long. And that's like, okay, at that point I have 25 years left, or now 22 years left. But with peptides and taking a more proactive stance, people call it functional health. Now I'm thinking, we might cheat this a little bit longer. So between peptides and AI and the innovations that are coming that we expect in the healthcare community with AI, save more money. You might live for quite a bit longer than you expected.
Yeah, absolutely. And that is the mission, isn't it? That is the goal, longevity, to give those extra years to people. That is the goal. So thank you, Nathan, for coming on and sharing your story. No doubt we're going to get your wife on as well, because people are going to want to hear her side
Yes,
of this as well. It sounds like she's had an amazing journey too. So
indeed.
you could probably look forward to that, viewers, in the future that we're going to bring Janelle on too to tell her story. You've got some amazing comments coming in, Nathan, about how great your skin looks. And did you say 64? They all want to know your secret. So feel free to jump into those comments
Will do.
and address those. But thank you so much for coming on and sharing your story.
Thank you.
So next up, we have Alexis Leone. Now, Alexis began her journey with semaglutide paired with B12, and she lost 65 pounds. Okay, 65 pounds. And after taking a 6 month break, and she like gained a small amount of weight again, she transitioned to tirzepatide. And at 34 years old, she's a wife. She's a proud mum in a blended family of five. She's a stay-at-home mum. She also homeschools her two youngest kids, one of whom is 50% deaf. So, in addition to her wellness journey, she's a micro influencer who shares small business and book reviews across her social media platforms. So, welcome, Alexis. I am excited to hear your story.
Thank you for
That's
having
like 65 pounds. That's
me.
incredible. Incredible. So you initially began with the semaglutide and you
Yes.
lost the 65. What started that journey for you? And what was that experience like for you, both physically and emotionally?
Yes. So my youngest son will be 3 in a few days. I started the medication as soon as I quit breastfeeding him. So in October, November-ish of 2023 is when I started my journey. My mom really pushed me to get on the medication because she was a part of the company. And she was like, Alexis, you really need this medicine. I'm going to help you pay for it so we can get you going because you're going to get this weight off and it's going to work. And I was like, I don't know. I'm terrified of needles, even though I'm covered in tattoos. My whole body is covered in tattoos. I'm like, I am terrified of a needle. I do not want to do this. So when it finally came in, I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it. And I recorded myself. I have old videos that have gone viral that where I was trying to give myself the shot and I was like panicking. I'm like, I sat there for hours trying to give it to myself. So that's one thing I know a lot of people are always afraid of is the needle aspect of it, but it's such a tiny needle. But I had lost that 65 pounds from the semaglutide. And then when I got off the medication, it was because like financially I couldn't keep doing it because I did have to quit my job because my youngest son is 50% deaf and I had gained all the weight after I had him because I was so depressed about oh my gosh, what am I going to do? I did not expect to have a child that has like a disability. This is not something I was planning on. And having the peptide and having the GLP really gave me that like, okay, we can do this. This is going to be manageable. Cause I was like, I'm gonna have to lose like 65, 70 pounds. Cause this is the heaviest I'd ever been. I was over 200 pounds and I didn't know how I was going to get that weight off. And when I did finally get it off, I did stop the medication for a while because I could not financially afford it because I did have to quit my job. And I was doing my reviews, trying to get some extra money, and I was eating with my food reviews, and I did gain some weight back from that. And then I was like, okay, Alexis, you have got to get on this medication and you have got to stay on it. You have got to do it for longevity, even if it's just like taking the microdose. So I got back on it and I'm down another 15, 16 pounds. I'm almost back to my original weight that I was. I have about 10 more pounds to be where I was originally. And then I plan to lose maybe 10 more pounds after that. But I am comfortable where I am finally. And I'm really happy that I have the support of the medication. And I have had a lot better results with the tirzepatide with not being as sick, because I did have more issues being sick with semaglutide because of I've got GERD also. So I had issues with like acid reflux and whatnot because of some health issues I already have. But it's just been just such an amazing thing for myself and for my confidence and just feeling good about myself again.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. So what's been the most unexpected benefit that you've noticed since you've been taking it? Is it just the weight loss, or have you experienced some other things along the way?
So one of the things that I've always, which I have a cough right now, I have had a chronic cough since I was in high school. When I started losing the weight with this, because I do also have asthma, my cough is just, it's gone. But it is back right now because I've been sick. But I usually have a cough every single day where I'm coughing all the time, and I have not been having that issue since I've lost my weight.
Oh, brilliant. So what about like food noise? Did you suffer with food noise and things like that? Yeah.
I,
So talk to us about that.
Yeah, so I did. I've always had issues with having like, okay, I got to have something sweet. And when I did gain my weight, and I was so used to eating so much more, and then when I took away that food noise, I was like, okay, you're not hungry no more. You're just bored, or you don't need that extra snack like you thought that you needed. And like here it is Christmas time when I typically would want to go get little Debbie snack cakes and eat like a whole box. Like I had one earlier today and had like two bites and was like, I'm good. Like I got my taste of it. I don't feel guilty about it and we're good. I got my seasonal fix of it. I don't feel like I'm gonna have to eat that every single day.
So what about obviously like changing the actual lifestyle aspect? So have you introduced more exercise and different things like that? Are you cautious about what you eat now? Or
Yes,
do you just
yes.
smaller portions of what you love? That's what I tend to hear.
Yeah, so it is a smaller portions of things that I do like. I make sure I have way more protein. That's one of the things that I struggled with in the when I first started losing the weight was I was like, I don't know really what to eat. I just was eating small amounts because I've always done like calorie counting. Anytime I needed to lose weight, I've counted calories. And this time I was like, okay, you're gonna have to eat more protein because if you're not getting the protein, like you're gonna feel weak, you're gonna be tired. So you have got to eat that and you've got to up your water intake. So I usually have an addiction to sodas, which I have an addiction to Alani's now, but I feel like I need water now. Like I feel like I have to drink that all the time, and then I have better snack habits like pistachios and like good things, which I was not doing any of the other times I've ever lost weight. I did not eat like that. I would eat like a small portion of like chips or a small portion of something else that's not that great for you.
Yeah. So what's the plan moving forward? You said you've got another, what was it, 10, 15 pounds you want to lose?
Yeah.
So once you get to that point, what does it look like for you moving forward? Do you think you've changed your habits enough to come off of it, or you're going to microdose, or what's that plan for you?
I have to microdose because of the food noise issues. I'm gonna always have that issue. I feel like it's hereditary. My whole family has that issue, so I am going to make sure that I microdose because it's something I'm just gonna have to do, even if it's once a month or every other week or something like that. I'm gonna have some form of help with that.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. But you're feeling good. You're looking good. You look amazing. I love the Christmas jumper. You're looking fantastic. Another 10 to 15 pounds to go. And what do you think that's going to feel like for you once you achieve that?
I'm gonna be glad that I hit it again and I can stay there and I can prove to everybody, okay, I'm gonna stay at this weight loss and not increase it this time.
Yeah. Oh, I love that for you. We're so happy that this has helped you that much, and you're glowing. You're literally glowing. So we are super happy for you. So thank you for coming on and sharing your story and being open and honest about it.
Thank you for having me.
So next we have Dr. Tanisha Bibbs, and Dr. Tanisha, she is a passionate advocate for maternal and family wellness, specializing in pregnancy, postpartum care, and newborn health. She is dedicated to supporting mothers and families through every stage of their journey, promoting holistic wellness, education, and empowerment. So, welcome, Tanisha. Thank you for being here. Oh, Tanisha's on mute. Give us 1 second.
There we go. I said, I'm super excited to be in here. Thank you for having me.
We are super excited to have you. So, Tanisha, you're currently taking the GLP-1, the GIP, plus the B12.
Mhm.
So, tell us your story and what inspired you to begin exploring peptides.
Okay, I'm a mother of five, and my largest weight was almost 300. And over the course of years and time, I've tried everything, worked out, spent so much money on different things, different weight loss, and my biggest thing was losing and then gaining it back and gaining it back hugely. Like I was just like, this is not going to work. I've tried everything. I said, went to my doctor, got my, all of my work, my blood work done. And the biggest thing was, why am I continuously gaining weight? I went plant based. I mean, I went vegan. I was like, what is it to do? So after doing that, I was very discouraged. I had a lot of anxiety. I had it was bothering with my self esteem. And so I said, you know what, I have to do something. So one of my friends, she was like, oh, let's do, the gastric. So I even tried that. I did so much different things, and I was totally disappointed about that as well. And so one day, I remember being on Facebook, and I said to myself, let me just post my journey. And I posted it, and I believe Coach Tony Freeney saw me on there, and she inboxed me. And when she inboxed me, I said, oh, Lord, here we go. I don't want to buy nothing, I don't want to do it. And so I already told myself, literally going in, I was very negative, and I said, it's not going to work. It's not going to work because everything I have tried so far did not work for me. I have this, I'm going on my sixth grandbaby, and I said to myself, I don't want to look like a grandma. I want to look like a glammy. So I was like, I got to change. I got to do something different. And she called, and we had a conversation, and I was like, okay. And I said, let me think about it. And I went back and I said, this is not going to work. I'm not going to buy this. It's too expensive. This is what we tell ourselves. It's too expensive. I can't do this. I can't do that. And she called again, and I said, you know what? I'm just going to just do it. I'm going to do it. And so I said, I'm just going to step out on faith. That's what I told myself. I did it, and I'm super, super excited because the first month, I dropped 15 pounds. Matter of fact, I had gained almost 20 pounds when I had the gastric. Literally, I said, this has got to be crazy. I went and got a gym membership. I was working out and I was doing stuff. I was like, oh my God, I'm still gaining weight. It's depressing. And so I started taking the shot. She was like, well, you're going to do the shot. And I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to do the shot. Is there something else? And I said, no, I'll just do it. Look, I'm gonna do this. So I started doing it. And the first month I was like, oh my God, I lost 15 pounds. This is crazy. I said, okay. And then I saw the second month, and I'm like, oh my God. I started showing my pictures. People were like, what is going on? What are you taking? And I didn't want to really I wanted them to see the results. I wanted them to see that. And when I went down and realized, I was like, okay, after the 90 days, my goal is to get to 197. I did not think I was going to get to 197 at all. I was like, no, I'm just giving myself a kind of realistic in my mind to say, okay, well, you can't go move forward with it. Just keep going, keep going. So I went and did it. And then I stepped on the scale. I was like, 200? This is ridiculous. And I promise you, I was super, super excited. My kids was just like, oh my God, I felt my anxiety level was low. I was having anxiety prior to before I started taking it, and I didn't know where this was coming from because I feel like I've made it in my life and very successful in my business. It's a second business I started opening up, and I felt good. I don't have no stress in my life like that, so I was like, where's this anxiety is coming from? And after taking, I promise you, I don't know if it's something psychological, but it has truly helped me with my anxiety. It has helped me to just say, listen, to stay consistent, to stay focused. Every Wednesday, I made sure I took my shot. And when I like looked at the time and said, oh my God, it's 12 o'clock. Let me make sure I take it. And now I feel that it's a part of my life. I don't know. My kids are loving it. My friends are seeing the difference in me. I know this is it for me because the people that have been in my life, that have seen my journey, they were really intimidated. Like, this girl is losing all this weight. And I'm like, well, y'all can get on board, you know. But I'm just letting my light shine, to be honest. I'm not forcing it down nobody. I just want people to see my journey. I want people to see that you don't have to be depressed. You don't have to have anxiety. You know, this works. If you take a chance and just step out, you just never know how it's going to work. And I'm glad I took that leap of faith. I'm here. I'm getting ready to get on my second. I have to do the reassessment. Once I do the reassessment, I'm trying to figure out which one to do. I just want to get down. I looked at my BMI, it's still high. And so I want to get down to, I was used to be a size 4. And I want to give myself the opportunity to say, you could do it. I went in my closet the other day and it was an outfit that I bought about 3 months or so ago and I couldn't fit it. I couldn't even barely put it on my up on my leg. Now I've put it on and I was like, oh my God, this is nice. And I went and bought like 3 small outfits and I said, I'm going to get into that. And I put it in my closet. And so that's my motivation. That's my encouragement. And now I want to incorporate, even with my son is turning 18. I want to incorporate that with him so he can, you know, be on it as well. And just listen, this could be generational in our family. This can be something that stays within our family and our bloodline. So I'm super excited about it, and I hope everyone else would, you know, just be excited and motivated about it.
Oh, I absolutely love this. Just seeing you light up with like, I actually did it. I was down to 200. That's what this is about, that confidence level, seeing people achieve their goals. So what what happened during that time when you was on it? Did you have any side effects? Obviously, you yo-yo dieted. So many people yo-yo diet. That's the story we normally hear. That yo-yo, they try this, they try that, they lose, they gain, they
Oh,
lose, they gain. You found this and you started taking it. You stopped all the yo-yoing. But did you experience side effects? Did you experience anything other than the weight loss?
so I lost 40 pounds, and okay, so when I just started taking it, I was just ready, you know, like ready to go. I just, you know, and I took it and I started getting a headache. And I said, oh Lord, is this the right thing for me? Here we go again, you know, trying to talk myself out of it. But the beauty of it was I was able to talk to the customer service, and then they was able to speak to me in regards to my health and all of that. And they said, oh, you need to eat. That was the issue with me. I was not eating, and I was thinking I was okay with just taking the medicine, you know, and just no, I had to eat something. So now after I ate, I don't have that issue anymore. I literally don't even have that issue. Even the food cravings and the sweets. I love some Skittles and some M&Ms. Okay, it was right by my bedside, but I had to definitely say no. I can't do this. But it has really curbed that. Like, I don't have no desire. Even like with the foods, I was like, I feel like I buy food and it's a waste. And I feel boring when I go out with my friends because I'm sitting there looking at them like, oh my God, did you on your second plate? But at the same time, you know, that's what I feel it just really helped me in those areas. So
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a key thing because it takes away the hunger noise. It takes away the food noise, but you still have to make sure you're getting your water and your protein and all
yes.
those good things that you need. And it can be deceptive, like especially like you just described, like you wasn't eating. You have to still eat. It is just all about changing those habits, using this tool to change those habits. So you said you take yours around 12 o'clock every day. So
Yeah,
is that your
well,
preferred time of day to
no,
take it?
it was like 10 o'clock. And I said if because I work overnight with moms pregnancy when they have their babies and stuff like that. So if I get home and I'm tired and I'm looking at the time, I have to jump up and be like, oh my God, I'm about to miss my time to take my, you know, so I do take it that time. So same time,
Take it. Yeah.
same time.
People take it at different times. I hear some people take it just before they go to bed. Some people take it when they first get up. Some people take it during the middle of the day. So it's really just what works for you, I suppose. And you find that's the best time for you.
I wanted to also add that I do have a app on my phone that alerts me when I need to eat. So even if I have like a little snack or, whatever it is, some fruits, just making sure that I'm staying hydrated, I'm eating, I carry my hydration all the time with me. So this is important for me to do that. And ever since I, corrected that situation, I love it. I just had my physical done. My levels are great. So yeah, now I'm working on my iron, but everything else is amazing.
Oh, that's brilliant. And we just can't wait to see more success from you.
Yes.
Obviously, you're still on your journey. What's the plan for you at the end of your journey? Once you hit that goal, do you think you'll come off of it? Do you think you'll microdose? Do you think you'll change your eating habits enough to maintain that without it? What's the plan for you?
No, I don't think with the eating habits, I think I'm gonna have to microdose, definitely. Definitely. So
Yeah. And there's so many benefits that come from just being on that as well.
yeah.
100%. Okay. Oh, this has been wonderful. I love literally just hearing real life stories of how these peptides and how these medications are helping people. So if you are on the call and you was invited by someone, feel free just to reach out to them. Obviously we've got lots of comments going on. Everybody's interested in what it is
Oh
we do,
God.
and we are just here
I
to help you
don't know.
guys. So thank you to each of our guests for sharing your experience with us. Okay, we really do love hearing all these stories. And that concludes our Thursday's educational series, but we will be back next week. But if you have someone that wants to watch this, you can always head over to one of our platforms on YouTube. You can head over to the streaming platforms to listen to this on podcast and share it with people if you know that this is something they're considering and they want to hear these stories. Just share it with people because this is something people need. So we will be back next week, but take care, everyone, and thank you to all of our amazing guests.